Thanks for staying with us. We're moving on now to Daily Sun. Let's find a story. Inside.
Okay. Should I take...
Ex-aviation minister approves 100% payment to company owned by daughter and son-in-law, says witness. Defense headquarters neutralizes neutralist kingpin Yellow Dambokolo. Lima, which story do you have?
Okay, so I have David Mark resigning. So
David Mark?
Yes, the former Senate president.
Yes, so resigning from where?
He has resigned from the PDP.
Oh.
He has left the party.
How was that coming to APC?
Founding members are leaving. So he was appointed as one of the interim leaders of the coalition-backed African Democratic Congress. Yeah. And so he had to tender his resignation, but he now had too many things to complain about the PDP. I'm wondering, the PDP should rest on this opposition. They are no longer a valid opposition. There's no PDP. Really.
People inside already can be taken negative.
Founding members have all gone. People are going for different interests. But you see these ones, these were the people who are going to criticize for leaving. Person like me, I go on touch like the abuser, but really, what's there to...
When I hear things like this, I always respect Fayoshi. No matter what, he is still in PDP, I'm sure. He would never...
After a while, he will be in a PDP that is not of any use.
But at least he will be there, because Ekiti man is live or die, or is like ride like that, die for life.
He can't even be in PDP just for the sake of
will not allow them to
being true to his word, when the party itself is non-existent.
That man is not going anywhere. Okay, let me take the story. The defense headquarters neutralizes the terrorist kingpin. Troops of the Operation Fast in Yemen eliminated a notorious terrorist known as Yellow Dambokolo in a week-long encounter in the northwest. The Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Marcus Kanye, confirmed the killing in a statement yesterday in Abuja. He said that the operation was conducted in conjunction with hybrid forces supported by air components and other security agencies, following a credible intelligence on the movement of the fleeing bandits and terrorists. During the encounter, the notorious kingpin himself, as Yellow Dambokolo, who for years has devastated residents of the eastern Sokoto and suffered serious gunshot wounds, was subsequently shot dead on Monday from the injuries sustained during the fierce battle. So I'm really happy that this is one person that, one less terrorist we have alive, and I'm congratulations to Major General Kangie for the efforts of his team and the entire army.
So an Economic and Financial Crimes Commission's EFCC witness yesterday told Abuja High Court that former Aviation Minister Hadi Sirika approved a 100% payment for a contract awarded to a company owed by his daughter and son-in-law. This contract is over 1.4 billion naira. He told the court that he approved the payment to AI Burak Global Investment Limited. It was, the contract was actually split into two. So he awarded part of the contract to his brother and the remaining one to his daughter and son-in-law, who are directors of the company. Yes. And the prosecution stated that this was contrary to Section 12 and 19 of the Corrupt Practice and Other Related Offences Act 2000 and Section 17B of the FCC Establishment Act, as well as Section 315 of the Penal Code Act of Cap 532 Acts of the Federal Capital Territory. It was punishable, under those same sections. So the matter is still on. The contract sum paid represents 100%. He paid 100% of the contract to the fourth defendant. It doesn't even remain small. He paid everything.
When they finish work, execute, make you see, or hit it by milestones.
There was no plan.
Yeah, and it's an airport expansion project. So yeah.
Daughter and son-in-law and brother.
Okay.
Let us spotlight some very upstanding Nigerians. In Aba, a keke operator returns forgotten 4 million naira to passenger. Wow. Yes, this is worthy of commendation. I absolutely had to take the story. So this is an indication that good Nigerians still exist regardless of the daunting economic crunch. A commercial tricycle operator in Aba, Abia State, last Thursday, etched his name in the Hall of Fame, yes, even in my heart too as well, after he returned a cash of 4 million naira left by a passenger he had transported earlier. His name is Lucky Okoro, alias Onyefoto. He had that morning lifted a woman who was identified as a Cameroonian from the Aba city center to the popular area International Market, where she disembarked. He later noticed the bag which was left in his keke, and on close observation he found that it contained 4 million naira, which some of his colleagues that got wind of it advised him to keep, even though he was said to have been contemplating to buy a new tricycle. The old one he's been using is, proving problematic. On the contrary, he insisted, listened to no such advice, and he began a routine search of the passenger he had dropped earlier, found her, and returned the money.
So sweet. And that kind of thing the government should actually recognize and appreciate it. Well done, well done. Okay, let's move on now to Vanguard. There was a story I wanted to take. This is Olunloyo story. So, I think it's in Sun. The academic and other activities at the Polytechnic in Ibadan was halted because students protested the name change to Omololu Olunloyo Polytechnic Ibadan from the Ibadan Polytechnic before. The protest was in response to Governor Seyi Makinde's decision to rename the institution after the late former governor citing his contributions to education nationally. Governor Makinde announced the renaming last weekend, honoring Olunloyo, who served as the first rector of the institution and was a commissioner in the Old Western region. It's very, very appropriate. However, his decision was sparked considerable controversy. Some supported it, others were quite a bit against it, especially those in the alumni. The unrest among students culminated in the protest that paralyzed academic activities that on the campus, both the south and northern campus gates were locked, preventing access to institutions. So I'm hoping that there can be some kind of...
Nigerians don't learn. But when they attempted to name Unilag after a prominent philanthropist in this country, the protest we joined, we will not go to school.
They did not rename University of Ife as Obafemi Awolowo University. Did anybody done what happened?
No, originally that's what
it was University of Ife.
But it was done.
But eventually, and so during that time too, some people protested.
When the school had, there was no protest. Now, when the school had gained popularity for what it stands for, is now you want to come out.
He's the first rector.
First rector.
It's only appropriate. It's only appropriate.
But now they are protesting it now.
They'll be all right.
Maybe the impact wasn't felt by the students at the time.
Because they don't know him.
Or the alumni.
That's the problem. When new generations understand who are so deceived.
The generations that are protesting, they don't understand. The alumni are the ones protesting. They are older generations, are they not?
Let me not even go because I have a very strong sentiment to this. Vanguard. Worsening abductions, killings, Boko Haram, renewed attacks, others. Alami says Sultan of Sokoto. Insecurity, Asaba community invokes deities, lays curses on kidnappers and cultists. About time.
Will you work?
Rivers, Lagos lead as cult clashes claims 1,686 lives in 5 years, says report. Ibadan police students, we talked about that, protesting, and I'm not sure which other stories we have. Let's see. FG disburses 32 billion naira to strengthen primary healthcare services. Okay,
so let me take the Asaba deity. Determined to check insecurity in their area, the people of Asaba Delta State have invoked deities, laying curses on kidnappers, cultists, and drug peddlers in the state capital. So they also said that when they had this incident 4 years ago, they did this and they had relative peace in Asaba. My parents stay in Asaba, so I know this to be true. But then they said currently there have been some killings, there have been some attacks, even though nobody has been killed, and some kidnapping. So they decided to do this again. So the Asaba is saying that they need to come invite the deities. They didn't just invite the deities of the land. They even invited deities from across the Niger.
Wonderful.
So that the thing will be kakara.
So you know you say it worked. You sure? Are you sure it worked?
We don't have to. There's no kidnapping in Asaba. There's no armed robbery issue.
And then he walks in those areas. In the old Bendel, the cause of the king
in Asaba. So now they've gone to different. Yes, they've gone to different communities to go and swear and do the thing, right? And so they said that as by it worked before, they know it to work again, and they did not just now use the one they did before. They brought extra from across the Niger. Because Asaba, you can keep your thing outside and come back and take it again. Like there's really, even though there was a bit of stealing because they robbed our house, but you know it's.
But then it's a collective thing when you lay a curse and then one person breaks.
The Nigerian Tribune.
I wanted to take the primary healthcare center. So according to the coordinating minister for health and social welfare, Professor Mohammed Ali Patem, he was speaking at the 11th expanded ministerial oversight committee of the Ministerial Oversight Committee MOC meeting on the Basic Health Care Provision Fund. And this fund, they have disbursed to 8,000 primary health care facilities a sum of 32 billion. For the first half of 2025, now then disbursed this one. So I want to hope that we will start to see changes. Oga, just in case changes, please, can somebody be doing unexpected supervision
Spot checks.
across, so that you know that whether the money enter pocket or the money was effective. So this is, of course, to improve primary health care services. You know, I've been shouting about it since I came. All the primary health care centers, me too, I'll be walking around them, unexpected. All those drugs that are supposed to be free are being sold in our general hospitals. I'll be torchlighting them anywhere I see them. But this has been disbursed, and this is supposed to help, according to them, target at least 50,000 Nigerians and make them get easy access to health care.
Do you have a story in Vanguard? Okay, let's move on to the Tribune. Let's find a story. Controversy trails Ondo government's planned inquest into Akeredolu's death. Why barriers to insurance accessibility in Nigeria must be removed. And which other story? Who has a story in?
I have the one of Aida Tiwa. So the decision of the Ondo State governor to initiate a probe into the circumstances surrounding the death of former governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu has stirred a wave of controversy and condemnation across the state. This follows an announcement by the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Kayode Ajulo-San, who disclosed that his ministry received several petitions from concerned individuals and groups within and outside the state, calling for a coroner's inquest into the death of the late governor. According to Ajulo, the petitioners, whose identities were not disclosed, reportedly suspected the involvement of Akeredolu's widow, Betty, and others in his demise. The development has now triggered sharp reactions from political stakeholders, community leaders, and legal minds, many of whom condemn the move as ill-advised and capable of throwing the state into chaos. It's obvious they're coming for this woman. Because how in the world, in this day and age, are you making nefarious statements like this?
This baseless. No, but Chika,
well,
plus the governor, plus the woman, plus that means the widow. I love you should please let this man rest now. He lived a good life.
Remember,
this whole drama.
If you remember the circumstance of this man's death, he was ill. You are reopening a wound. The woman is trying to heal and mourn her husband. You're not trying to accuse her.
You know why I'm not happy with her as well? Even last week, he went on live video. Can you people let the man rest?
Because the woman is grieving in different ways. She's upset. So we can't really blame a grieving woman, how she reacts in certain situations. If you are reasonable, you can say, I don't need to do that. But when the woman is within how many years of her husband's death, she's still grieving. So there's a possibility she will do certain things that maybe she might not be proud of. But at that moment, you have to give her some grace.
She was actually involved in caring for him.
Exactly. So you give her some grace. You give her some grace, but not to not accuse her of. Yeah, she has reacted because she's a widow, for heaven's sake.
No, an inquest into is that. See, let's leave the widow.
Why now,
the assumption that he's targeting her is, we have not verified it. Okay. Leave it. But why do you want to do an inquest into his death? He died. He had months to plan the burial. Yes. You did the burial. We are halfway into the year. The new year.
I wish you were starting an inquest. We need to scatter them.
That's why it seems like there's more.
They don't have road to do. Is there light in is there light in Ondo?
We're supposed to make this into topical because this is really annoying.
All of them, all parties.
Well, let us go on a short break.
They are culpable.
Let us go on a short break. Let us just leave it because we want to get in trouble. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.